Hello, everyone. You're welcome back to the other side of the bridge football channel. And yeah, I'm back. I just want to thank you all for your patience. It's been quite a number of months. I've not posted any video yet. I've been so busy with so many other stuff. And yeah, it's good to be back to bring you all things Chelsea. And hopefully this time I'll be able to really make our time, to make this channel, what it should be and where it should be. Yeah, we're here to give you all things Chelsea as usual. And wow, congratulations to the Blues. We're world champions. Won the FIFA World Club Championship against PSG in the finals. Like we all know, a whooping 3-0. Kopama, player of the tournament. Sanchez, goalkeeper of the tournament. I mean, we had a role in that championship, and it was really worthwhile watching Chelsea grow. A lot of teams didn't give us the chance, we were the underdogs, and we humbled PSG. I really don't want to go into, I'm still caught up in the euphoria of Chelsea winning the Club World Championship, the first revamped, let me put it that way, revamped Club World Championship. And yeah, we're going to be champions for the next 4 years, and we'll have all the bragging rights as being the first team ever to win the revamped Club World Championship. And yeah, it has a ring to it, knowing that Chelsea, we're back on top. But I don't want to get too carried away. A new season is here, starting off with the preseason, and quite understandably, the Chelsea team have an extended break. I think they'll be on break for about 3 weeks before, they come back to camp to start off the preseason proper. And it has its plus and minuses, participating in the Club World Championship. We'll have, by the time we come back for preseason, we'll just have barely about 10 days to the start of the season. So congratulations once again to Chelsea. Yeah, we've had a couple of good transfers. I think this Club World Cup transfer window has been quite, positive, especially for Chelsea. We got the likes of Delap, we got the likes of João Pedro, which has really bolstered our team. Kendrick Paye coming in. So many good players. We got a player from Dortmund. I can't remember his name right now. And we also, made a lot of shrewd sales. The likes of Madueke going to Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal fans have been livid. If we even carried out an online petition against Arsenal, not wanting, to sign Madueke. I really don't know what the problem is. But to be honest, I mean, aside a player like, I'm trying to remember when last Chelsea has actually sold Arsenal a very good player, from William Gallas to David Luiz, Jonino, as recent as Jonino, to Peter Cech, Willian. I mean, the list goes on and on. Even Raheem Sterling. I mean, Arsenal has really, I really don't know why, they keep coming to Chelsea for players. So like I said, that's pretty much what you get from Madueke. But will Arsenal get a good player at 48 million pounds, roughly 53 million with add-ons? Well, it's left to be seen. He's quite stoked. I mean, if I was Madueke, seeing the outrage coming from the Arsenal supporters, I really may not want to go there. But he's going to be playing backup to Saka. Saka has really been, injury prone recently. He plays a lot of games. So it would be nice to give Saka a breather here and there. But personally, I thought, I feel Madueke should be more proactive, going to a team where he'll be guaranteed regular playing time. He played quite a lot for Chelsea. Let's not get it twisted. But to me, he just didn't grow into the role. His performances were not improving. He kept at the same pace, the same old player we've come to know for, the 2 years or 2 seasons he spent at Chelsea. So I wish him all the best at Arsenal. Another player who will be looking to offload, maybe Nicholas Jackson. Now, Jackson has been a head scratcher since he came to Chelsea Football Club barely 2 seasons ago. And look, he had all the opportunity to, cement that number 9 position. His first season, he didn't do very, very bad. I think he did quite well, even though he didn't make the 20-goal mark. I think he scored about 18, 19 goals, I can't recall. And second season, last season, he did about 15 goals, even though, he was, quite injured a bit. Yeah, but he didn't do that bad for a player that is not really a recognized striker. Even while at Villarreal, he usually plays on the wings. But when he came into Chelsea, he was given that task of leading our front line, which he did quite well, to be honest. But, for a club that is looking to get back on top, for a club that is looking to win the Premiership and also competing in the Champions League, I think Chelsea really needed an upgrade. Can we say we got an upgrade with Delap and João Pedro? I think, look, first few games we've seen from Pedro. Pedro has been fire. I really, really loved him a lot while he was at Brighton. I think he plays the game with ease. He's strong, he's skillful, and he packs quite a lot of shots on him. He wasn't really playing as a 9 while at Brighton because he had Welbeck, but I thought, this is one player that can really, 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 do well in a bigger club. I had similar reservations about Delap. Their games are not, alike. They are two different sets of players. They play very, very differently. While João Pedro can play as a 10, he can also play on the wings and, play as a 9, which we've come to see that, wow, he's quite good in that position. But Delap is more about strength and precision. I really like the fact that he's quite clinical. Maybe he didn't score enough goals in the Club World Cup. I think he had just 1 goal, but you could see that he really knows how to strike the ball and not just strike a shot that is direct at the keeper, but place it. I mean, Donnarumma pulled off a masterclass of a save in the finals when Delap came in. I mean, with his first touch, he took quite, a wonderful shot that was, heading to the top corner before Donnarumma came up tops on that. So I think in our forward line with 2 strikers, I think we're, very much okay. If the coach chooses to keep Jackson, I really don't have a problem with that because, like I said, Jackson can also come from the wings. Same thing with João Pedro. So we can find a way of playing at least 2 out of those 3 in the same team. But yeah, if we look to offload Jackson, I'm very sure we should be looking at getting nothing less than 70-80 million pounds for him, even though we got him for about 35 million pounds thereabout. But look, Jackson would do well for quite a number of teams, but I think he needs to mature quickly. He had a lot of, in his Chelsea career, I think he's had about 10 yellow cards so far, quite a number of red cards also. For a striker, that's way, way too much. And we could also see it almost cost us participation in the Champions League when he got a red card, a match prior to the final match we played. But hey, even in the Club World Cup, he got a red card in the match we lost about 3-1 to Fluminense. Look, Jackson needs to grow up, and whether he does the growing up in Chelsea or in another club, he really needs to get his act right. For the likes of Madueke, and I really don't think he's up to scratch yet. I think he should be loaned out. Nkunku needs to be sold, to be honest. He hasn't really lived up to the expectation. When he was in the Bundesliga, top scorer for about 1 or 2 seasons. At a time, he scored about 40 goals. Nkunku had been great, but in the Premiership and in Chelsea, we haven't really seen that. Nkunku, maybe injury, maybe the pace of the Premiership is too fast for him. I really don't know. But if we can get some money back from Nkunku, it will be quite, good. We also need a left back, to be honest. Marco Kurela has been excellent. One of our best players or better players in the season that just went by, but he really needs somebody to keep him on his toes in case he gets injured. I don't want the scenario of having to play Malo Gusto on the left or having to play Rhys James on the left. I mean, it doesn't really work well. Same thing with having to play Colwill on the left flank or left back. It's not really good. And the coach doesn't seem to fancy Chilwell. So there's no point mentioning Chilwell because it's not going to be an option. And Achipong is quite good, but I don't think he is a left back. To be honest, I think he'll be utilized more in the central defense. So we really need to go and get a competition for Marco Kurela on the left back position. I mean, we're going for a keeper. The AC Milan goalkeeper, Maignan, but something went wrong with Chelsea pulled out of, getting him for about £25 million. Possibly maybe because he just has a year left on his contract and maybe we're looking to get him on a free next season. But we can't. Sanchez, like I said, was great in the tournaments that just went by, but we also know Sanchez is really, really prone to error. We could see that in the competition, even in the finals, he gave away some, there were some, heart-shaking moments where we had our hearts in our mouths when Sanchez has the ball at his feet. But he pulled off some excellent saves, which we know Sanchez is capable of. George Petrovic, he was sold to Bournemouth for £25 million, which is a good deal, but I still have my reservations about selling Petrovic, and I really hope we have a buyback clause. Petrovic to be is way better than Sanchez. I don't know. It's just my own opinion. The season he played for us, where he took over from Sanchez, I think he did excellently well. But hey, the coach has, his taste and what he wants from his goalkeeper. So who am I to judge? Central back positions is quite. Apart from Badeshil, who still doesn't strike me with any confidence. I think we really need to get rid of Badeshil and bring in, a very, very solid centre back to make sure that defense line is secure. Because if Colwill or Chalobah gets injured, we're back into square one. Yeah, Malagusto and Rhys James, they're both quite injury prone. And look, we don't want a situation where either Malagusto or Rhys James gets injured and one or the other will not play so many games and they also will get injured and we start looking for trying to move players around to that position. We've seen Caicedo play in that position in the past at right back. And just to be safe, I think we can get, another player at right back, maybe a very young player that will learn off these guys. Will we be able to win the Premiership next season? Look, as a true fan, honestly, I'll tell you, yes. I think we can if we are consistent. I think we can if the coach really, really gears up the boys, gives them that belief. I don't want to hear any nonsense about, we're still work in progress. Look, these boys are ready to go with the new additions we have. The Champions League, will be too far, for us. But I think Chelsea will be good in cup competitions, if you ask me. One-off matches, we may really, really pull our weight there. But for a long 38-game league season, we should be there or in between. Liverpool have strengthened quite a lot, so it's going to be very, very difficult to dislodge them off the top. Same thing with Arsenal, trying to get Gyökeres. Look, that's the missing piece to their team. So it's not going to be that easy, but we should be saying the right things and we should be believing that we can be able to, contest for the league title. It's going to be a crazy, very, very interesting season. We've not really heard much from Manchester City in terms of transfers. Manchester United is Manchester United. Come on. Even if they get transfers, they just seem to be on the same spot every single time. But there's something really, really not looking right with Manchester City. Pep seems to be too quiet these days in terms of the transfer window. He's already lost Kevin De Bruyne to Napoli. So he'll be looking to reinforce that position. Rodri, was injured for most parts of the season. We're looking if he could get not a replacement, but a backup to Rodri, but nothing has materialized yet. So we'll see how it goes. Chelsea should have, the upper hand, in terms of momentum, having won the Club World Cup. But they really need to, get their acts right, be consistent, and yeah, we have a chance of winning the league. So that's all from me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Do like and subscribe, and do have a wonderful day. Bye.